Hey, this is Kevin from the RCS Office of eLearning bringing you a Canvas Focus video. So our focus this month is really maximizing communication tools within Canvas. That includes the course calendar and course announcements. So we'll dig a little deeper into that. We'll also really get to know our rich content editor. That's a tool that you'll see throughout Canvas, and it really gives you some nice options for making communication much more interactive and engaging. And then we'll talk a little bit about, we've had some teachers that have said, hey, I'm ready to use this at a higher level, and I want my parents to be able to access information about their student course activities and stay abreast of communication. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So the first thing I want to focus on is in the calendar. So this is my sample history class. And in this history class, I can do lots of things, but what I want to focus on is over here on the right-hand side, it says View Calendar. Now, when you open up View Calendar, it's essentially opening up your, I don't even want to say personal calendar, but it's your combined calendar, but it only has items from the course you're in listed on it. So if you are involved in multiple courses, not only as a teacher, but also maybe as a student, you do have the option of overlaying all of those events on one calendar, but when you access the calendar from the course, by default, the only thing that shows up are things for that course. So let's say, for example, we have a field trip to Gettysburg next week. It's very realistic, but it's for our purposes that's going to work. Next Friday the 16th. It's really simple. You click in the box, you title it Trip to Gettysburg. The date that you typed or that you chose will be default, but you could always change it. If it's an event that's going to be time stamped or time based, you could put the start and end time. Location, you could even put the physical location of where it is, if it's an off-site event or even an event inside a school. Maybe it's going to be in a different room in the building. And again, by default, it'll come up under the calendar of the course that you're in. So that's really simple. There's my event. I submit. Next Friday the 16th, we have a trip to Gettysburg. My permission slips, I already put that in. Permission slips are actually going to be due in advance. Let's say we have a quiz scheduled for Monday, but I'm out tomorrow because of an emergency and we're not able to appropriately prep the kids for what they need to be successful on the quiz. To change a calendar event, real simple, you just click it and you drag it. That will automatically update on the course syllabus. That will ultimately also update any assignments or quiz due dates, so you don't have to make changes multiple places. A change in one place will globally affect change in other places. So let's say I do have some things scheduled for next week, but for my own personal benefit, I need to see what else I have going on next week. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see all the calendars for all the courses that you are involved in. Now, I have a pretty significant list of courses because I'm part of a lot of courses. But if I wanted to see, for example, if there were other events I had to be concerned of, I can go click on, this is a class that I'm in, the RCS Secondary Curriculum and Instruction. And I can see, just by overlaying different events, what all is going on. And I can also toggle them off. But again, if you access the course calendar through the course, what will show up initially will be only those events, only those assignments, only those quizzes that are relevant to that course. But you have the option of adding on different courses as well, so you can see for your own benefit, what else do I have due that week or to do, or what have I assigned in other classes. So calendar, again, can be used for events, tasks, but it can also be done, you can also create assignments from here. So let's say, for example, I'll go back into my history class. I'm going to have an assignment on Wednesday. Just that same box comes up. This is not an event, this is an assignment. Now, this is a very basic assignment setup here. I could say projects due. On the 14th, this will make a little bit more sense as far as groups when we start actually creating assignments. But if I wanted to do a little bit more, like actually go in and create the assignment, I could click on more options. That's where I can go in and give text instructions of what the assignment is. I can do the assign the point value. I can put it in an assignment group, which that's going to be for weighting purposes, mastery versus practice. I can go in and do my display grades, but again, assignment and quiz settings are going to be addressed at a later, probably next month. But at the very least, you could go in and put an assignment as a due date. The benefit for the students is that on their calendar, even though you haven't completely put all the details of the assignment in there, what will show up for them on their calendar is that they have an assignment due. They'll get to know that the sheet with the A+ on it is an assignment. Calendar icon is a calendar. It's an event. So even though you haven't put the specifics of the assignment in there as far as how are they to do it, what is the assignment, they can at least see that, hey, there's an assignment due. So this, this is going to be helpful if you're creating assignments that aren't going to necessarily be submitted through Canvas. It could be done completely separately, but you can at least put that in as a visual reminder that they have projects to do. And even if it's not submitted through Canvas, you can still go in and do grades and things through there. So calendar, great way to communicate, great way to help our students become more organized. Course announcements is another way you can communicate with your students. A couple of ways you can get to it. On the left-hand side in your course navigation, you can click announcements, and that will give a if you had multiple announcements, it'll have them all time-stamped. So it's a great way to go in and say, hey, I made the announcement last week. We've been in Canvas every day, or at least every other day. The announcement's been there. So you could create a new announcement from there, but also from the home page on the right-hand side, new announcement. New announcement, you should see some things that are pretty pretty familiar. So quiz date changed. So I changed our quiz date from Monday to Tuesday, and I could go ahead and type that in if I wanted to, and that's great. You can use basic word process formatting tools, left, center, right alignment, a few different colors. There's no text font choices because really Canvas is designed about accessibility. Some fonts are not compatible with screen readers, so they try to keep it pretty simple. But you can go in and do some things like import images, and you can make hyperlinks, you can do tables. But one of the tools that I like about it is if a student might pay more attention to a video of me, I might go in and I might say, hey guys, quick reminder, because I'm not going to be here tomorrow, quiz is not Monday, it's been pushed to Tuesday, so make sure you pay attention tomorrow. And right now, that and same announcement that I would have typed in that they might have looked at, I've now been able to put in the announcement. So that's consistent through anywhere you see this rich content or rich text editor, you can go and do font, text-based announcements, text-based input, or you can do video. All you need is the webcam, which all the teacher laptops will have, and all the student laptops will have as well. You can also attach a file, and you can do things like, it's an announcement, but I don't want it to go out until Monday. So I could go in and delay that, and I want it to go out actually on, we'll say, Sunday night. So that'll make their evening when they realize that there's not going to be a quiz on Monday. You might want to think about things like allow liking or unliking. It's not a social media platform. And we don't want to necessarily use announcements as a dialogue form, but those are some things that we can certainly work through for you. So once you save that announcement, it shows up a couple of places. That announcement is going to show up in the announcements portion of the course navigation. It's also going to show up, actually it's not going to show up on my course dashboard because I changed the posting date to not go until Sunday night. But if I decide, I'm going to go ahead and tell them now, I can go ahead and open up the announcement. I can edit it. And down here I can say, nope, let's make it available immediately. So now it's going to show up in my announcements. And on the student side, they will see that announcement show up on there as well. Speaking of which, I can never reiterate this enough. It's a great tool. A lot of times people forget about it. If you ever want to see what the student view is on your course navigations, click Settings. Right hand side, Student View. This is going to be what your students see when they are enrolled in your course. Okay, so if I need to see announcements, I can click on announcements. There they are. But the really cool thing is, even on their individual dashboards, the students will see, I won't be able to see that, but they'll see that announcement on their main dashboard when they log in. Third thing I want to go over this week, parent access. There'll be some documentation forthcoming in the next couple of weeks that you can provide to parents, either directly or through the students. Definitely want to have this in place before student parent-teacher conferences, because there's some great ways that parents can see what their students doing. You can communicate with parents, and you can keep parents better informed. There's actually two methods. The first one is, let me go ahead and leave student view. And I'm actually going to log out. So if parents go to that richmond.instructure.com, that'll take them to the same login page that the students get to. Right down here at the bottom, or up here at the top, sorry, need a Canvas account? That's the first thing a parent would do. They're not a teacher, they're not a student. Parents sign up here. Parent types their name in. Parent puts in an email address. Has to be valid because that's how they get their account confirmation. Child's username, it's going to be the student ID number. So most parents don't know their student's ID number, and then password, so they'll need to work with their student on this. Username, password, agree to the terms, start participating. It's going to send a confirmation email to the parent. They are going to establish a password. Then every time they go to richmond.instructure.com, they log in using those credentials. They can see course activity of their student. Okay, they're not going to see activities of other students in the class. Only thing they're going to see is those things that their student is directly involved in. It could be assignments, it could be the discussion post, but nobody else's. It also gives an ability to get those assignment notifications. So anytime there's an announcement or anytime there's a calendar change, parents can have those same notifications. So it's a little bit tricky with multiple students if you have siblings in a household, because essentially all the courses that all the kids are involved in will show up on the parent's course, and they'll have to kind of their course menu, so the parents will kind of have to know which kid is involved with what course. But they can go in and they can edit the names of the courses on their dashboard as well. But certainly, if you're ready for this and you want some help with that, reach out to Joni Timorai and we can certainly get you going with it. The other tool, I think I like it a little bit better, but not every parent, as we know, has access to mobile devices. But there is what's called a Canvas Parent app. They have it for iOS and Android. And essentially, the downfall is if they're going to use the iPad app or the Android app, they have to create an account directly in the app. So what that means is a parent that may be viewing their students' progress or activities on a desktop or a PC, they need to create an account through the richmond.instructure.com. If they want to use the app, they would have to also create an account for the app itself. We just recommend they use the same email, they use the same password, that way it's clear. So it's a little bit iffy right now, but the app itself is really solid. It allows them to go in, and this is an example, this is a screenshot, this is exactly what it looks like. If they have multiple students in the household, they can just toggle through the kids, so it's really cool. It shows the grades on the courses. It actually lets them go in and see what's upcoming. So a lot of parents that say, hey, I don't feel like my kid is letting me know what's coming up. You can look at a course and see exactly what's been done, what's coming up. And this is perfect for any helicopter parent. They can actually go in and set notifications that anytime a course grade goes above or below a threshold, that they'll get notified. They can set it so anytime my student has an assignment missing, they get notified. They can set it that anytime they have an assignment grade that's above or below a certain level, they can get notified. And then also they can toggle on and off course announcements. So really the benefit to that is for parents that do want to be highly involved in their students' academic life, these tools give them the ability to do that. It could help limit the amount of conversations at a conference of, why didn't I know that my student had a 65%? Why was I not notified? The easy answer is, well, we would hope that your child would tell you that, but we also know in reality that's not happening as much as we'd like. So this is an opportunity for the parents to be able to not only see the progress that their students making, but also then to